So hello everyone, it is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and it's time for us to declutter. So this bag is of chopping block stuff I'm thinking about getting rid of. Then I have a bag of lip products that I went through last night that I decided to get rid of. And I have this huge bag of makeup that I just decided I was going to get rid of. Sorry, my address is on that one. I'm going the other way. But yeah. So let's go ahead and get started, because I'm shocked that I decluttered so much stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, realistically, I don't use all this stuff, and y'all know this time is gonna have to come eventually. So here we go. So I have the Smith & Colt, what is this? Veiled Thread Weightless Micro Blurring Foundation. It's like this little weird white spot in it right there. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see it, but like it's like a weird white spot in there. And I'm like, I probably shouldn't be putting that on my face. Now this is currently on sale for $10 at Ulta if you're interested in buying it. It's the shade 14. UOMA actually gave one of these away in my giveaway because like mine came open. I used a good little amount. I think I used like about that much, and considering how many foundations I have, I feel like that's a decent amount of foundation. But now it just looks like it's old, and I'm scared to put it on my face. So if I want to repurchase it, I will, but I don't see myself repurchasing it with all the new luxury foundations I've bought. I'd rather just enjoy those. So the next one I have, believe it or not, is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Cream Foundation in the shade Pecan. I remember when I used to love this, but lately I feel like it looks really thick on my skin, even when I use a small amount. And since y'all know I have to spot conceal or whatever, I want it to not be as thick. But then I feel like if I don't use enough, then it doesn't cover the face the way I want to. Plus it's really old, so I'm thinking that the formula might have changed, and that's why I feel so thick, because I don't remember it feeling as thick as it did when I tried it on like last week. And my skin looked really thick and like textured and looked like it had a whole bunch of pores in it. So I was like, this is kind of old as it is, so I should probably just go ahead and get rid of it. Like I said, I wear the shade Pecan, so if you're interested in this foundation, I wear the shade Pecan. I know their stuff is on clearance at Sephora right now, so if you want to try it out, maybe you should, because you can get it at a discount, and then you can get the extra 20% off if you're rouge like I am. So maybe try it out. It's up to you. The next thing I have is the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream Color Correcting Full Coverage Natural Finish Plus Collagen, Peptides, and Niacinamide with SPF 30 in it. I have the shade Deep 540N. I have two shades of this. I have, I think, 510C as well. I gave that one to my mom because when we go on vacation next year to Bangkok, hopefully, she'll be able to use that foundation in the daytime, and then in the night, if she chooses to wear makeup when we go out, I'll give her like a different one to wear, because obviously if we're taking pictures at night in Bangkok, she don't need to have on a sunscreen filled foundation. But yeah, I didn't like this. Like when I tried the color I didn't like it. When I tried my actual shade, which is this 540N, I didn't like it. Like I know other people were really amazed with it, but I just feel like it made my skin look great. When I got the color I was supposed to have, it made me look great. When I got the color it was too light, it made me look great. It's like, this is just a foundation that makes me look great. And it's like, out of all the foundations I have, I don't need to be walking around looking great when I don't have to. I look just fine right now, and with this, like, I didn't, so it could go. Plus, if I'm really that concerned about it and want to try it again, or need to buy it again for a video or something, I can always get it on a discount. They sell it at CVS, and they always send me 40 and 30% off coupons, so it'll be easy for me to replace it if I need to. So that's another reason I'm not too concerned about it, because I'm like, I need to replace it, I can. It's not that big a deal. The next one I have is the Soul Body Face and Body Makeup. Now, what ended up happening with this product is I don't have anything wrong with this product. I don't have anything negative to say about this product. It is just as good as my Dior Backstage. The problem is I bought a shade too deep, so I got the shade Dark 20. If y'all remember the video, like, I looked really dark with this foundation. Now I can make it work with concealers and make it lighter, but it's like when ColourPop has their Black Friday sale, I plan on just getting another shade that actually works for my skin tone as opposed to this one. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and do that, which is why I'm going to get rid of this one. Now this one I'm going to just give to my cousins. Those other ones I'm going to most likely throw away, because that e.l.f. one is too dark for them, because they're closer to my mom's complexion than the one that's my mom's complexion. Obviously I'm going to give to my mom. But I know their grandmother can wear this shade because she's a little bit darker than I am. So I'm going to give this one to them. The other two we're going to throw away, and then the e.l.f. one I'm trying to figure out what to do with it, because it's like I might be able to like donate it to a women's shelter or something, and maybe I'll do that with it. So next thing I have is some liquid eyeshadow. So I have this one from Mented Cosmetics. It's the shade Deadlock. If you all remember, the pastel one was the most difficult one for me to work with. All the other ones worked fine with the duochrome. It was just this one was really difficult. It was like really sheer and thin, and then it like would like break up when you try to put it on. So this is one you'd have to like put on top of a shimmer and hope that it wouldn't break up the shimmer and leave like the patchiness to it. So that's why I'm getting rid of this one, because I'm like, maybe my cousin can work with it and use it as a base or just make it an eyeliner or something. But it's not worth the trouble for me when I already have one from Natasha, and then I have like 3 from them that I actually really like, that I use on a consistent basis as eyeliners, or just like to put all over the lid when I use an all matte palette. So this one's gonna have to go. The same thing with this Huda Beauty one. I just feel like this one's dried out. Like I didn't swatch on my hand to see, but I know these are quite old. Of course, y'all know I had to get the mint one because I had the Mint to Be palette, and I was thinking about putting this underneath to see if it would work. But it's like I found pastel scents that work for people my skin tone, like the Artist Couture one, and then there's another brand that had pastels that work for people my skin tone as well. So I'm like, I already have pastels that work for me. I don't have to do all the extra work with this. And since I feel like this is dried out, this is something that I'm just gonna go ahead and throw away. But it looked nice, and from what I remember, like I think it performed okay. But it's been so long since I tried it, I honestly can't tell you. Either way, it has to go. I can't be bothered. I just can't. So another thing that I'm kind of sad to let go, but at the same time, realistically, it's like I know I'm not going to use it, is these L'Oreal quads. So these are L'Oreal, I think, Infallible eyeshadow quads. Sorry, L'Oreal Color Rich eyeshadows. So I have 304 matted up, 306 acro matte, and then 308 matte is an Avenue. So they were all nice shades, and they all perform really nice. It's just realistically, you got to think, I have how many eyeshadow palettes? So when am I going to be reaching for these? And since the quality of them is so nice, I wish they would just make eyeshadow palettes with this quality as opposed to the quality they had in some of the other ones, because I heard their other eyeshadow palettes weren't that great. So if they use the quality that are in these, then maybe, you know, they would work better. This one looks lighter on camera than it does in person. It's not that light like it looks here, but all of these are actually darker than they're looking on camera. I guess with the brightness of my lights, it's kind of light, but the formula on these is really nice, and they're like hidden gems at the drugstore. It's just because you can get palettes at the drugstore now. Like I heard that Maybelline Nude palette that they came out with last, I think it's State of New York or something, is really good. It's like kind of no point if you buy individual singles, and if you were, I think you buy them from like an indie brand or something that's going to give you that metallic and that glow, not those that are about the same price and don't do all that. So the next thing I have is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. Now this I just bought in the wrong shade. I have the shade Bronze Bell, and I should have got the one lower after that. But this will be fine to like contour around like my nose area. And then I could just put a darker bronze on top like I did with the bronze I used today. But I prefer sticks over pots. So that's the reason I'm letting this go. My cousins can most likely use it as well, which is another reason I'm letting it go. Because I'm like, during Christmas every year, whatever makeup I didn't sell throughout the entire year, I usually just go ahead and give away to them. So then that way it's not being wasted, and it's not sitting around in my collection not being used. So they'll just end up getting that. I found another little eye quad. This is a Surratt Scandalous Eyes quad. This is the one I use the least. I think this is the purple one. No, sorry, this is the black one. So it gives you like this black cream gel on top, and then gives you like this really sparkly, dually intense shade on the bottom. But it's like, I have other ones I like from them better. Like there's a purple one with a cool reflective purple, like silverish glittery shadow to it, and then they have like a dark foresty green one, and then it has these cool green, orangish, like purple duochrome glitters in it that you can put on. So I like those better, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that one to my cousins, and maybe they'll like it and do something with it. Because I tried using the base and then putting the glitter on top, and I didn't like that. And then I tried to use this liner, and I wasn't necessarily in love with it, so I just decided to get rid of that. The next one I have is this ColourPop Gimme Sugar Pressed Powder Eyeshadow Palette. Now there's nothing wrong with this per se, it's just you gotta think how much purple I have. Like I have the wine palette from Glam Light, and then I have 2 purple palettes from them because I like you a lot, and it's my pleasure. And then it's like I have monochromatic purple palettes from other brands, like what's that brand, Plan to Make with Yolanda. I have her one. So it's like I have plenty of purples, and this one just didn't stand out to me. Like the shimmers in here seemed to be more satiny, and I wasn't feeling that. And although the mattes are fine, it's like I just named all the purple palettes I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this little quad to my cousins. I know they were talking about they wanted some more ColourPop, so I have sent them older ColourPop palettes that I don't really use anymore, and this will be another one I'll add to the list and send to them. So what do we have next? I have a couple of setting powders. Now one of them I don't want to necessarily let go, but it's like realistically I know I'm not going to use it, and since I already have other ones I'm going to use in the summertime, I don't need to be hoarding this one too. So this is the Prime Beauty Locked In Loose Powder in the shade Bronze Babe. Now what I don't like about this one is it has a red undertone to it, because otherwise I would keep it, but the fact that it has a red undertone to it, and I have God knows how many setting powders that don't do that and have my face with the more golden undertone that I prefer, I'm just going to go ahead and let this one go. Plus again, I said their grandmother is of a darker skin tone, so I know it's something that she can use, and I know she doesn't have a lot of powder. She usually has like foundation powder, so I'm trying to get her into like the idea of using a setting powder instead of always using a foundation powder, because she might not need that much coverage. So she can use the face and body foundation that I'm going to give her from So Body, and then she can use this powder to put on top of it, and it'll give her more natural, nice finish, and she won't have to you know, always use her foundation powder. So I'm trying to get her into that, which is why I'm giving that one away as well, in addition to the fact that I have other powders I use in the summertime for that I like a little bit better. Not that there's anything wrong with that one. If you all remember, I told you about the one that goes underneath the eye, this Golden Gal. You have to try it on my code to enhance. That powder is amazing. So I love their powders. It's just I don't like the fact that it has a red undertone, so that's what the turnoff is for me with it. Next, I have the Pretty Vulgar Matte About You, the Powder Room powder. Now, I really like this powder, and I kind of don't want to let it go, but at the same time, it's like, how often do I use a translucent powder? I happen to have one on my face today, but as a general rule, I don't go for translucent powders, and the one I have on my face today is more blurring than this one is, which is another reason I couldn't let it go. Plus, I remember that she didn't have any powder for underneath her eyes, so I'm figuring this might be good for a powder for underneath her eyes, since I know this is actually translucent. She can put this underneath her eyes. She can put the Prime Beauty one on her face, and then, you know, she can use the foundation, and she'll have the nice look going on. So I figured I would go ahead and give that to her. Hopefully her granddaughters don't take it from her. I usually mail the stuff off to her, so that way she can have first pick, since, you know, she always buys my son a birthday present. She always calls me and tells me happy birthday, and she always like does stuff for us because we're close like that. So I try to make sure I mail it off to her with her name on it, so that way she can have first dibs on whatever it is that she wants, and then they can get whatever after the fact. Anyway, so I have a few palettes here. It's not a lot. I think I have like 3 other than the little quad I showed you all, but I have the Persona Cosmetics Identity palette. So this is the old packaging. That's how old this palette is. I bought this from 21 Days of Beauty like a while ago. With this palette, it's just kind of like I'm not into it. It's just, it's not that it's not a nice mixture of warm tones and cool tones and neutrals, but I mean, let's be realistic. When am I using something like this? You see what's on my eyeballs right now. I don't use stuff like this as a general rule, and plus the Identity 2 came out, and that's more of my speed and my color story, so I have no problem letting this one go. Plus, since she's an older lady, I figured she'll want more neutral, like smoky-ish type tones. She likes bronzy stuff like that, so it's like some of the oranges and some of these she can use, and then she can darken the outer V with that and have a nice like look when it comes to her makeup aesthetic. So that's another reason I'm willing to get rid of it, because I know it's something she'll use, because I gave her another like bronzy warm tonish palette that she was really into. So I was like, okay, well, I have that one. I know I'm not going to use this. Let me go ahead and pay it forward and pass it on. So that's what we're doing with that. Next, I have the Essence Pure Nude Sunlight palette. Now with this one, I had mixed feelings about getting rid of it initially, but it's like the hype has died down when it comes to these, and I don't think this is the same formula as the individual ones, but it's been so long since I bought an individual one, I can't tell you for sure. It is a really nice palette though, and I like the fact that this is the deeper palette, because they have one for lighter skin tones, and then they have one for deeper skin tones like me. So this one is supposed to work for people my skin tone, and like Karen's skin tone, and like maybe medium tan people or whatnot. It's a nice palette, it's a nice form. It's just realistically, I don't ever really reach for it. But I did keep the bronzer palette from here, because I feel like it's rare that you find bronzer at the drugstore for $10 that has a good range to it. So I kept that, but I was like, with the highlighter palette, I know I'm not going to reach for this. And I have individual highlighters from the drugstore I like more, like the Maybelline Master Chromes. Those are amazing. So I was like, let me just go ahead and get rid of this palette, because it's like, it's something her granddaughters could like be using while it's just sitting in my drawer as a reference piece on the off chance I have to make a video about something, which I was like, yeah, we don't need to do that. Next, I have the Innuendo. Now this one is hard for me to let go as well, because it's like, this is, if y'all remember this, I think it was the second highlighter palette they came out with that was more realistic and worked better for people's skin tone. The first one they came out with was really glittery. This one is more of like blend into your skin but better one, and my favorite shade was On Tempo, if you can't tell, because I used that one quite a bit along with the shade Morning After. So I would like mix these two together, or I would, y'all know what I like to do, I'll like put like this one down the middle of my face and then put this one on the high points of my cheeks or whatever. So this is a really nice palette to me. I actually had 2 of these, and I think I already let one go, so it's like I'm just finally letting my other one go, because it's like, it's not really something I talk about that much, and I don't even know if they sell this anymore. So I was like, I should probably get rid of that too, because it's like, if they don't sell it anymore, there's no purpose behind it. Plus I have a couple of those huge Super Shock highlighters now that they have in the individual compacts that they've been coming out recently, since that seems to be more of the speed they're going, and they have their classic Super Shock. So I'm like, I don't feel the need to hold on to this palette, because I feel like they don't even have it in their arsenal anymore. So that was my reason for holding on to it. Now let's get into the lips, and then I'll get into the shopping block stuff last. So I got rid of so many lip products. Y'all look at this thing. For me, that's a lot, considering I'm not really a lip person, but it's like I hoard certain brands of certain lip products just because I'm like, realistically, I don't go to my lip stuff that often, but I felt the need to last night. So So I went through and I'm glad I did, because I found some stuff I can give to my mom. Because if you all didn't know, when it comes to my lip products, I usually give all of them to my mom. That's the one thing she won't let me give my cousin. She's like, no, all the lip products belong to me. And I'm like, fine. So I got this Proper Beauty one in the shade Profits. I just found it's a brown I don't use for as much as other browns. It has kind of like an orangish brown undertone to it. And to me, it wasn't as flattering as a lot of the other ones I have from them. So this is the only Proper Beauty lipstick I got rid of. And I have like just about all their collection of both like times they came out with collections. But this one just didn't speak to me as much as all the other ones do, and I have plenty of them here. I think I have like 5 here, and then I think I have like 5 or 6 at home. So it's like I got a good majority of shades from them. This just wasn't my favorite, and since I know my mom will get use out of it, I know it's going to a good place. The next one I have, I think this is called Seriously. This is a Dose of Color High Pigmented Lip Gloss. I love their lip glosses because they're really high pigmented. A lot of the times you all see me with the shade Macchiato on, because I really like that shade. I think I got it during their 50% off birthday sale this year, and it is a fave. I like the one called Stone that came in that glossy lip collection where they had the lip liner, the liquid lipstick, the velvet one, and then a lip liner. I love Stone. That is one of like their classics, and that's one of my favorite lip glosses from them as well. So when I do my mauve pinky lips, I usually like to reach for that gloss. But this one I just found myself not really reaching for. I think it has like blue and purple glitter reflex in it, and it's really high pigmented. It's nice. It's just not a color that I reach for that much or in love with. So I'm sure my mom will use it because she likes colors like that too when she wants to switch up her lipstick from the cranberry lipstick she always does. I have the shade Old Flame here, and it was just like an orange shade that I wouldn't reach from them, because it's like I don't really mess with Ofra like that, especially with all the stuff they had going on. But I do like Caffeine's likes Miami Heat, so I would know I would reach for Miami Heat over this any day. So I was like, I'll just give it to someone who will use it. Okay, my mom, I don't know how much loose she'll get out of this one, because she usually goes for the more mauve tones, or she'll go for like the red cranberry lips that a lot of older black ladies reach for. Next, I have this lip gloss in the shade Curvy from I Love Sadai's collection with ColourPop, and I think this is like her first collection with ColourPop as far as like the lips and the lip liners and all that stuff goes. So like this is pretty old, so this I think I'm just gonna go ahead and throw away. I used to like to collect like the ColourPop collection from YouTubers, and I still have a few of the things from hers. It's just that's one that I never really reached for or used. So I didn't see the purpose of holding on to it. Next, I have this lipstick in the shade Cream. I just feel like this is way too light for my skin tone, and even when I put a lip gloss on top of it, I still don't like the way my lips look with it. I have 2 other lipsticks from this line though I really like. They had an orange one, and then they have a red one, so I kept both of those because I do like the formula of these. It's just realistically I don't see myself wearing this color, and this was the lightest one that they had for people for like nudes as far as they go, and then they have like a chocolate brown. So when they get some more nudish shades for people my skin tone, then I'll be more interested in it. But like this one just ain't working for me, so it's gonna have to go. Believe it or not, y'all, I'm getting rid of a Baby Pat Mcgrath lipstick. This is Flesh 3. I just found it to be a shade that I didn't necessarily like. Like, it was a weird, like, coloring to it. When I swatched it out last night, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling this. And since it's a luxury little lipstick, I'll be happy to have my mom have it and try it out and see what she thinks of it. Next, I have Pillow Talk Diamonds. I got this for free when I ordered some stuff from Charlotte Tilbury's website, but I don't like the way this looked. When I swatched it last night, it looked really weird. Maybe it looked better on top of a mauve lipstick, but just on its own I didn't like it. She has one that's more brown and sparkly that works better for my skin tone, so that's the one I just held on to, and I decided to get rid of this one. I'll probably give this one to my cousins because I don't see my mom wearing this sparkly like glittery lipstick, so that's one that they can have. I think so far the only one they can have is the elf one and that one, because I don't see her giving up anything else, but you know. Oh, maybe this one I'm looking at right now. It's called 9 to 5. This is a lip gloss from ColourPop. This was when they hit 5 million on Instagram. They went ahead and came out with a collection dedicated to it, and this was one of the glosses. I have actually never used this gloss. I just swatched it last night, and I didn't like the coloring of it, but I was holding on to it for the memories. But I think I still have like other stuff from that collection, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this go. My cousins will probably use that too, because like I said, I don't see my mom wearing that. Next thing I have is this little Baby Artist Couture lip gloss in the shade Le Freak. I think I got this for free when I had ordered his face palette from his website. I think that's when I ended up getting this. I honestly don't remember, but I know I got it for free from his website when I had ordered so much stuff. It's just a glittery little mini lip gloss. I prefer his pigmented lip glosses with like the nude colors and the pink colors that he came out with, like X-rated, Uncensored 2.0, and like Thirst Trap. I prefer those over this, so it's like that's why I'm going ahead and get rid of it, because it's a cute little lip gloss. It's just I know I'm not going to use it, and I already have a whole bunch of lip products in general, so I don't need a random mini floating around that I know I'm never going to use. Next, I have the Sugar Lips Ultra Glossy Lip from like a Valentine's Day collection that they did a while ago. I never used this shade, and it looks really similar to a shade that I kept from the I Love Saudi collection that she had come out. They were literally like almost the exact same color. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, like get rid of this, and my cousins can use that again most likely, because I don't see my mom using that. Next, I have Verona from Ofra. I don't know if the formula changed on this a lot, because I haven't really used my Ofra lip glosses in a really long time. But it was a nice color. It was just more of like, I have lots of colors like this, so I didn't really need this one. The only one I really care about is Miami Fever. So I was like, I'm just holding on to that, and we'll get rid of this one. I have Truffle Tease from Maybelline. It's an okay color, but I prefer raw chocolate, because it looks better on my skin tone, because I've seen Jackie wear it plenty of times. That's how I ended up using it, and I reached for it way more than I reached for this. So I was like, I'll just let this one go, and you know, if I really want it back, I can go to CVS and get it for like $2 or $3, because I'll be couponing queen over there. Okay, so this Marc Jacobs, what is this? Enamored Hydrating Lip Gloss Stick in the shade Black Cherry Baby. I'm ended up getting rid of this one just because it's no point in me keeping it. I can't wear it on camera, because on the off chance that you all ask me what's on my lips, I gotta tell you it's a discontinued brand that went out of business because Marc Jacobs wanted to retire from beauty. So it's like, what's the point of holding on to it when my mom can use it? So I'm just gonna go ahead and let that go. And since it's one of those darker cherry type shades that older black ladies seem to like, along with cranberry lipsticks, I know she'll use that for sure. The last lip product I have to talk about before we get into my shopping block stuff is Kylie Cosmetics. This is the Dolce de Leche, when she had like the bullet lipsticks from her original line before she started her new line. So this was a color I had bought initially when I tried them out, but I like butterscotch better than I like the shade. So as you can see, this one's hard to use. With butterscotch I use quite a bit, so I was like, I'm gonna just go ahead and get rid of this, because it's like, I'm not gonna use it. Maybe my mom can get some use out of it, but the point is, there's no need of it being in my collection, especially since she doesn't have these lipsticks anymore. All she has is lip once again, and I think like some lip glosses. She might have some lip glosses, don't quote me, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just like, no, I don't need that. So as you can see, I decluttered quite a lot of stuff last night, and I was proud of myself. Now let's get to my chopping block. So I got 2 Pat McGrath things in chopping block. I know, right? Pat McGrath, what? But the highlighter Champagne Glow, if you all remember, sorry, Champagne Gold. If you all remember, I was not a fan of this highlighter. I feel like a lot of people weren't a fan of this highlight, either because of the quality or just because of the color. For me, it was both, because it's like the color doesn't work for people my skin tone, and then the quality isn't there. I like the weightedness of it, but it's like, I wish she had put this on the one that came out this year, like more weighted material, and then it had the crescent in it and everything. But see what I'm saying? Like, this just looks really ashy on people my skin tone. I don't see that as flattering. I just see it as ash. So I'm supposed to have this ashy streak on the side of my face. Mother, after I paid you $65 for this, I was not happy with this at all. My whole thing is like, it's hard for me to let go of it because it's Pat McGrath. Plus, I feel like it's a good reference piece. And since I think she still sells it, don't quote me. If she doesn't sell it, I might just go ahead and declutter mine, because I already have the highlighters that she has in her permanent collection, it seems like. Because I have Golden Nectar, I have Divine Rose, and then I have the one that she brought for holiday this year. So I'm like, that's why it's on the chopping block, because it's like, if I find out she doesn't sell this anymore, then I have no problem getting rid of it, because I know that I'm not keeping it for reference purposes, because it doesn't exist anymore. Next, I have the Flora Fantasia quad, because I bought the whole set of quads, but I ended up not liking this one, and a lot of people didn't like this one. A lot of people said this was their least favorite out of the 3 that she came out with in 2020. And I think it's just because, like, the quality of it doesn't feel the same as the quality of the other 2. Like, Interstellar Icon feels pretty nice. And, Risque Rose was my favorite. But it was the one that was made in Italy. So, of course, you know, it was my favorite. It was my bougie self. But, yeah, this one just, the quality didn't cut it for, like, what she has going on. I mean, I like this shade right here. But to me, this shade is really similar to the one in that 6-pan palette that she had came out with earlier in that year. That shade is anyway. And then this shade was truly a disappointment. It's just like some weird like satin that I feel like doesn't do too much of anything. And then the matte in here is too light, and then it's just another one of her gold shades that she always likes to put in palettes. So it's like, you see what I'm talking about? Like, this looks nice or whatever, but it just, I don't know, it doesn't hit the way I wanted it to hit. I wanted it to be more glittery and effective and reflective, like the shade she has in the Utopian Dream palette. Sorry, Utopian Dream palette. I feel like if it had been like that, then it would have been more impactful because it had the glitter and stuff. But I noticed in these quads, she doesn't do that. So that's why this is on the shopping block as well. I'll probably most likely eventually get rid of it, just because, you know, it's not going to be something I use. And then eventually it'll go out of stock and she won't have it anymore. Next thing I have is the Analog Cutie Palette from Nabla. I forgot what number this is. Oh, number 7. This one and the blue one came together in a set that you could buy from the Trend Mood box. So I went ahead and bought mine there. That's how I ended up with both, because honestly I would only bought the blue one when it came out, but it was such a great deal to buy the whole thing from her, so I went to just head and bought the whole thing from her. So as y'all can see, this isn't my color story at all. These are warm tones. I like this shade right here, and this shade is okay, but the rest of it is like I can go without, because it's like I do have a warm tone palette in spite of me not really being into warm tone palettes. For the off chance that I do want to do a warm tone look, then I will have those palettes, but this one just doesn't speak to me or call to me. And it's like, if anything, I would sell this on my Mercari page, and I always leave my Mercari page down below, so if you all are interested in buying anything that you see me declutter, it'll most likely be on there. And if it isn't, you can like message me like, hey, when you gonna post this thing or whatever. But since this is chopping block, I most likely am not gonna have those up for sale anytime soon. Can you focus on me? Thank you. So next I have the Cover FX Your Formula for Beauty custom enhancer palette. So it has a shade Candlelight, Sunlight, and Blossom. So Candlelight, of course, is the darkest one, which is the one I've used the most. Sunlight is the shade in the middle, and then Blossom is the pink one. So I feel like the pink one would be like a blush topper for me. Blossom is the one I'd probably put down the middle of my face when I want more brightness, and Candlelight, of course, is what I do the cheeks with. The only thing is these are kind of glittery, and then I didn't feel like they were exceptional. Like I like their old highlighter formula better that they got rid of in the Visual Compacts, and that's the name of the one I liked, the Candlelight, and then they had a Sunlight. I liked both of those, but this new glittery form I'm not too excited about. I ended up buying this because Kathleen Lights was raving about it, and somebody had got it in PR and selling on their Mercari for dirt cheap, but it's like, it's not super exciting to me. I'm going to try it out some more though before I make a decision, which is why it's in the chopping block. The next thing I have is this Becca On Your Light Shimmering Skin Perfecting Pressed Highlighter. With this one, I liked it okay. It's just more of, I don't see myself using this tone that often on my skin tone. But at the same time, I'm like, since it's Becca and I know I can't get it anymore, I think that's what my difficulty is with letting it go, because since this was one of the limited edition ones, if I did decide on the off chance I wanted it again, it's not like I can be like, oh, let me go to Becca's website and see if they still have it. Now I do have backups of my favorite, which are Dreamsicle and Chocolate Geo. Those are two of my favorite highlighters that Becca made. Like, they just killed it. I have two of each color. That's how much I like it. But this one, I don't know. Let me swatch it and show you all what I'm talking about. Like, it has the classic formula of them. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't really wear a color like that often. That's it right there. See what I'm saying? Like, because of the undertones in it and with my skin tone, I just feel like it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna hit the way I want it to hit on me. Even in the summertime, I feel like it wouldn't hit the way I would necessarily want it to hit. So to me, this is like a glorified giant like eyeshadow palette. And I don't know, I mean eyeshadow color, and I don't know that I necessarily need that. But at the same time, because of the nostalgia and the fact that I know I can't get it anymore because Becca doesn't exist anymore, I'm kind of just like, do I want to get rid of it though? Next, I have the Essence Brighten Up Peach Powder. So this is just a peach powder you put underneath your eyes, but they discontinued the color for people my skin tone, and of course they only kept the banana one. So that's why I'm debating, like, should I keep this or not? But in all honesty, I don't really use colors like this, and like even if I did, it's not like it's a drugstore alternative I can like give you, because you know they don't make it anymore for people my skin tone. They just make the banana one. So I think this one is not a chopper block anymore. I just answered my own question, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that one, so it can go over there to my cousins and they can figure out what they want to do. Now another one that kind of hurts my soul, but at the same time it doesn't, because it's like they've made everything else except what I asked them for, which is a concealer. They can make bronzers and a whole bunch of other stuff. So you should already know what I'm talking about. It's Mented Cosmetics, and it's actually their bronzer I'm talking about getting rid of in the shade Yacht Life. I just feel like it's quite glittery for what I like, and then it's like red undertone too, and it's like I have my glittery bronzers I prefer, like Maui Nights from Becca is a really good one. I wasn't impressed and overwhelmed with the formula on this, and then the fact that my shade is the only shade that has a whole bunch of shimmer in it, because I believe Andrea Renee said our shade was the only one that had shimmer in it, because I think she works with them sometimes. But everybody else's shade can just be a normal shade, but mine gotta have all this glitter and green and gold sparkle in it. And I wasn't impressed with the formula. Like, I like the colored rain one better, honestly. So I'm thinking I'm gonna just go ahead and let this one go too. Like, I answered my own question. If all that comes into play, I mean, I like the fact it's made in Italy, but it's like I prefer the ones that they had in the Ashley Blaine Featherson set better than like this one that they came out with on their own. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that as well. But that's gonna be something I sell on Mercari, so you can look on Mercari to find it if you're interested in it. Next we'll see is this quad from ABH. So they came out with these, like, I think the year that they came out with Jackie's palette, because I remember her reviewing this quad in particular, and I was just like, yes, y'all know what shade I don't care about. I only care about these two shades right here. So in all fairness, I was thinking about just taking these two shades out and just giving these two shades to my cousin. And I was gonna see if these would fit in the ColourPop palettes, but I can see now that they're bigger than the ColourPop palette, so I can't even use them for that purpose. But these are the only two shades I really care about. And it's not that they're necessarily so great. It's just I thought it was cute that ABH came out with a little quad. And I can always replace these two shades I don't care about with two singles from their sale when Black Friday comes. So I think I'm going to hold on to this perhaps. But it's still on the chopping block because it's like if I can't find any other colors I like. And it's only two colors from them that I like. And I have plenty of ABH palettes. Do I really need to hold on to it? Probably not. The last I have two more eye things and then I should be done. This is a Sydney Grace pigment in the shade Awakening, or like liquid eyeshadow, I guess. So I got this in the mystery bags that they have every year for Christmas in July. I wasn't really that fond of the shade. I used it on my eyes when I did my eyelid. Y'all ended up never seeing the video though, because it's like I had so many new things pop up, so I was like, I'm not even gonna, are y'all really gonna care about this type thing? And I felt like it wasn't gonna be cared about. So that's the shade right there. It looks nice or whatever. It's just, I know I don't use products like this that often. I'd rather like my cousins get the use out of it and me hoard it. So I guess I've answered my own question again. I'm gonna go ahead and give this to my cousins and not like worry about trying to hoard it just because it came from Sydney Grace and then one of the brands I really like as far as indie goes. The last thing I have to talk about is the Makeup by Mario, at least when it comes to the eyes, Master Crystal Reflecting Highlighter. So when I first got this, I used it as a highlight on my face and I didn't like it for that. And then I used it as topper on top of eyeshadows and I didn't like it for that either. So I was like, what is the purpose of this product? Because like, am I missing it? It just seems like some random glitters that you just pop on top. That's supposed to give like an extra pop. But it's like I have eyeshadows that already do that. But you see what I'm saying? Like it's just random, if you can even tell, like because of the lightness, that's like random reflects of glitter. And I just wasn't really impressed with it. So I had this in my thing to on my website to sell on Mercari, and then I ended up taking it down because I was like, maybe I can find a way to use. But I see now it's just not a product that is something I'm going to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this and just look for it on Mercari near you. Last things I have to talk about are foundations, because we know I live for a complexion product. I'm actually testing a complexion product for you all today, right now while I'm talking to you. And I will be ending that video later on tonight. So how about that? Anyway, back to it. So the first one I have is the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. I have the shade 57Y, but as you all saw in that video, this clearly pulls to be more red, even though they claim it's Y. I think you used about 2 or 3 times. It wasn't like it was a bad product. The foundation was fine. It's just, if I have a yellow undertone and I buy a yellow undertone foundation, I expect it to be yellow undertone. I had to use concealer to make this somewhat yellow, and it still pulled quite red even with the concealer. But obviously in the place that I highlighted on my face, it was yellow like this foundation claimed to be. So I don't have a problem with the foundation itself. I just have a problem with it not being the color that they said it was, which is yellow. And it definitely pulls red. You all told me in the video that you saw it pulling red too. So it's on the chopping block because I have this Stellar foundation in the shade S20 that actually is quite yellow undertone, as you can see in the thing. I mean in the container. And I usually mix it with this one to make it less red for when it's wintertime and I want to use foundation. So this is kind of like my mixer foundation. So that's why it's on the chopping block instead of just decluttering, because it's like I can mix this with other foundations to make them colors that I want, and foundations I really like that just doesn't have that great of a color range. But I like the foundation enough to, you know, work with to make it work. So that's why I have this in my chopping block. But I feel like, I think this was 20 bucks, and worst come to worst, like I think I got it on 20% off or 30% off. So it's like I really want to get it again. It's not like I can't. It's just more of, I feel like since I already have it, why should I like get rid of it when I know I can mix it with something else? But it wasn't anything exceptional that blew me away. So that's why it's just a chopping block thing for me to see. Next, I have the Lawless Woke Up Like This foundation. And to me, Lawless is one of those brands that picks and chooses when it would be inclusive, just like Hourglass, because it's like with their blushes, they don't work for people that look like me. But they do the Hourglass route, where it's like whenever they make complexion things, they always work for like everyone as a whole. But when it comes to like bronzers, blushes, highlighters, things like that, like that's when people that look like me just get excluded. It's like, we'll make you some base products, but you need to figure out whether you're gonna buy the rest of your stuff. And I kind of don't like that about them. Not that this foundation is bad, but like that's how I think of this brand. It's like I don't want to be wearing it, and then you ask me what I'm wearing, and then I'm promoting them when all you're gonna be able to find from them is a, sorry, they got rid of the concealer, so the only thing you'll be able to find from them when you look like me is a foundation. Because I don't even feel like the lip colors look that great on people my skin tone, because they came out with lipsticks and I didn't buy any because I was like, I don't even want super dark colors. I want to wear nudes like everybody else wear nudes, and Proper Beauty already got me covered with that, along with Mented and Juvia's Place. So it's like I don't really need you for too much of anything, and then other people make base products and whole lines of stuff for people to look like me. So it's like I have mixed feelings about it, because I could always just wear it to work on days just to finish it up, because I finished up a good amount, believe it or not. This was one of the foundations I wear in the summer a lot of time because it pulls a little more red as well. But I'm fine with that in the summertime because I actually like the formula of this. Not that I don't like the formula of the Sephora one, but realistically, like you know, if this formula works better, and I already own this before, I own the Sephora one, it's easier for me to just hold on to this because it's halfway done, and the Sephora one is pretty full, and I could just give it to like my cousins or someone and it could work for them. So that's why it's on the chopping block as opposed to, you know, me just getting rid of it. The last one I have that I really don't want to let go of is the Dior Forever Perfect Makeup Everlasting Wear Pore Refined Effect with Sunscreen SPF 35 Shine Control Foundation. So I have the shade 60 in the original one. This is the one Jaclyn Hill was raving about. So I ended up getting it on my birthday a year that we didn't go on vacation. And she was right. This foundation is amazing. I absolutely love it. The only thing is it's quite old. And the newer version that they came out with does not work well for people my skin tone. It runs quite orange, and this one already ran orange. It's like that one runs 10 times worse orange than this one did, and this one is really good and I really love it. So that's why I'm still hoarding it, if you will. I haven't used it on my face like in quite a while because I have a whole bunch of other luxury foundations I like, and I know this one's really old. So to me this is more like a sentimental hold on because it's like the first Dior makeup product that I bought that led me into the Dior path I'm on now with all the Dior things I have, because I really love Dior makeup. So I'm most likely just gonna hold on to this for sentimental reasons, but these two are going to stay on the chopping block for sure. And y'all helped me, well, I helped myself in this video cut out a couple of other things that I had on the chopping block that I wasn't going to get rid of. So let's see if I have made up my mind after this video of any more. So if this one is not on her website, when I go look it up after this video is done, I will be getting rid of this. This one I'm going to go ahead and put on my Maybelline because I have a lot of these and I don't rarely reach for them as it is, so I don't need to hoard one that I don't really like, even if it is newer. So we're gonna get rid of that one. This one I'm gonna hoard a little bit more just because I like to have Pat McGrath's products to reference here at my grandmother's house, and this is my Pat McGrath quad to reference, and I have like one other quad to reference, so I can have some Pat McGrath to show you all. This one I'm gonna hold on to and try it a little bit more to see how I feel about it. I think we're gonna let go of the Becca what is it, Own Your Light highlighter though. So far we're getting rid of like possibly 3 things. Well, we're getting rid of these 2 for sure, and possibly this one depending on if it's still on her website or not. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought about the stuff I got rid of. If you have feelings about what I got rid of and why I got rid of it, or some of these your favorite things you think I shouldn't get rid of them, let me know down below. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.